mean, it's one of those things where you're in the relationship and you're at this point, let's say second, third date, and it's like you have this conversation. This is going to be the conversation that because the society we live in, and you say it doesn't matter, but until you're like actually confronted with it, or you walk into a store, and I can remember going back and we went into a restaurant and these two black guys were working behind the counter, and of course I came in with a white guy, and they had an issue with it, and they made it very obvious that they had an issue with it. And so it really didn't affect me, but he felt very awkward by that, and it was like a constant type of thing. And I think in the end that it depends on if you're willing to deal with it, because the society we live in, that's what you're gonna get. I mean, it's not to say there are certain places, I guess, in the U.S. that you could live, where it's more accepted, but that time I was in the South, so it wasn't, even though it was, still not that long ago, it wasn't as accepted. So, eventually it I think drove him to the place where he said he didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. So,
kind of the, are you man enough for me to do this? Going back to what you were saying before, like, yeah, is he willing to put up with that in order to be with you? And
because it's real, it's disrespect regardless of however you look at it and how do you frame it. And it's just like what you said before about all this
disrespect. That's exactly right.
It is,
great.
But it's the issue of like, are you willing to either to deal with it, and then it's also that double standard that you're saying is because if you confront it, then what are you going to be perceived as?
Right.
And that's, I think, what his issue was, that he couldn't quite confront it without feeling like he was going to be deemed a racist to, the black guys that were saying those things.